So welcome everybody to this amazing session that will take your TGS to the next level. This is a system that is going to put more money in your pocket. This session alone is going to open your eyes to the possibilities of what you can achieve in the spot market using the Royal Q application. We're going to focus on trading in general, but before we start, we want the first female V6 in the world to address us. So Dr. Money, please, the floor is yours.
Wow. Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege to be your miss. I just need you to know that this is a positive decision you've made. I'm sure that many people will be surprised to see me in this class. That is my kind of person. You cannot overestimate the importance of learning. Honestly, for the past 2 years, I've been trying to learn. And many people they just get wow that this woman at your age and all that, this kind of things, it is because I believe in investing in myself. That is knowledge. So you're here, you're getting this knowledge almost free as far as I'm concerned, because if you know what I have paid to get knowledge, you'll be shocked. So you're doing what so many people, have not even thought of doing. Congratulations. You are planning your life, and this is a skill that you will transfer to your generation, from to your children and then to their children. You don't need to depend on any government to take care of you. Congratulations for this decision. I will keep learning till I die. That is me. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that succinct opening remark. So absolutely, we are committed to learning. There's no end to learning. It never ends. The more you learn, the more skilled you get and the better results you attain. And by the way, let me congratulate all members who have subscribed to this paid program. Let me tell you this, whatever you paid, you will get 100x the results of that within the next 6 months to a year. So this is a partnership to make sure that you attain better results with the technology we use to milk the blockchain. Ladies and gentlemen, this first training almost slipped between the cracks. It was brought to my attention that people need to know the basics instead of going to the next level of information. And so tonight, we start with the basics. Anybody you care about, please bring them here. Anyway, the recording will be there for people to watch at their own time. It's all about support and resistance, the capabilities to improve your results with TGS by applying a few simple rules. In the first year of Royal Q, it was all guesswork. Right? We didn't understand the bot. We didn't know what was possible. We didn't understand the markets. So when you don't understand the market you're playing in and the bot you're using and your psychology, a lot of things went south. All right. But we didn't give up thanks to people like Dr. Money. She herself, her tenacity showed, her spirit, her resiliency brought to the table. And gradually, it was clear that we needed to build some skills. So this session and the whole 6 months to come for all paid members will be about going deeper into the markets in a way that you're going to be able to appreciate the market more. So thank you very much, everyone, for making the time to be here. All right, so I'm just going to do a couple of things. Let me prevent people from unmuting themselves. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box and I'll ask you to unmute. Let's get right into it. All right, so I want you to imagine a basketballer who has a ball in his hands. Now, with the ball in his hands, he pushes the ball down, the ball bounces back to his hands, right? And then he pushes it down again. If you remember how basketballers play, the ball goes down, comes back to his hands. And they move it with such finesse as they move around the basketball pitch. That ball is going through support and resistance. The support being the floor and the resistance being the hand of the basketball player. Now, there are times the basketball player would toss the ball, might bounce on the floor and get into the hands of his teammate. The floor is the support and the hands of his teammate resistance, and the process keeps repeating. Ladies and gentlemen, lesson number 1 about support and resistance: price will always bounce between support and resistance. Okay, that is the first thing you need to remember. Price, when it hits the floor, will bounce back to resistance, so that you can easily predict what to do at various instances of the market. And so the same thing applies. If I'm standing in front of a door and I hit the ball to the floor, the ball hits the floor, maybe the table tennis, lawn tennis ball, it hits the floor, hits the ceiling, hits the floor, hits the ceiling. That is support and resistance. The floor is support, the ceiling is the resistance. Now, if it goes through the door, it hit the floor of the balcony, go up, and then hit a deeper level in the floor, and then go up again, support and resistance. So price will always move between support and resistance. And that is one key thing I want us to pick from this discussion here tonight. Now, when we look at the chart, I want you to always first locate where the candle touches a couple of times on the chart. Look for where price is rejected. Okay, so this is very important. And I'm going to just try look at some, let me switch to some high volatile coins list. Okay. One of the favorite coins is, let me pick one here. Okay. I'm just trying to look for one of those very volatile coins. Okay. So let's look at this. When you come into the chart like this, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. When you come to the 15-minute time frame, remember, we're teaching you how to trade without indicators. So we're going to just put everything out of sight for now. Let me just turn off. All right. For those who understand TGS, I'm going to just bring the Bollinger Band later in a moment. So let's keep the charts clear. The goal of this training is to help you understand what to do when you see a blank chart. So you simply look for where price has rejected once or twice. Okay, simple. Where has price rejected once or twice? All right, so let's just take a look at this. Where has price rejected once or twice? If you look right here, you see the price went up a little bit, came down, went up a little bit, came down. So this is a level that has shown a little bit of price rejection. Okay. Now, for the sake of this discussion, I'm just going to just put a line for now, but the line is not the appropriate way of doing this, but just for the sake of the beginning of the training, let's just put a line here. So this is a resistance. Now, let's look at the support. Where has price rejected once or twice? All right. Now, right here, I can see price rejected here. It's also rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. So you can see these multiple rejections. So I'm just going to put a line here. Remember, line is not the best way to draw a support and resistance. And I'm going to show you a more efficient way of drawing support and resistance in a moment. But for the sake of this beginning, let's take it this way. Now, here again, you see price touches here, and it repeats here. I will automatically see this is a crucial line for our attention. And you can go on and on. You don't need to draw so much support and resistance all over the place, ladies and gentlemen, but you need to identify a few of them on your chart. So point number 1, always locate on your TradingView application where price bounces off once or twice and appreciate that point. Now, what you're going to find out is, even if you check the history of this movement, you're going to see a lot of similar results to the left. But I just want you to understand that this multiple repeated bounces is a sign to show that in future, you will experience something similar. So remember, I told you price will always bounce between support and resistance. It hit here, bounced down, came close here, bounced up, got here, bounced down, got down here, broke through it, bounced up from here, bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, broke through it, bounced up from here, came down. You see, price will always bounce between support and resistance. How do you locate those lines? Look for where price has been rejected more than once, at least twice. That gives you a good sign. Okay? Now, I want you to remember again, even though I've said it, that support and resistance is not a line, but a zone. All right? So let me find out. Drop in the chat box if you have a favorite coin that you trade, maybe a coin you concentrate on. I can switch and use that as an example to bring it home to your heart. So here's what I want you to remember. Remember, the first point I told you is when price touches support, the most likely reaction is that it will bounce. When it hits resistance, the most likely reaction is that it will bounce. Now, I'm not saying that every time it does this, it will bounce. I'm just giving you a heads up that there's a great chance that that is what's going to happen. So this first training is just the beginning. For you to trade correctly, you have to combine several factors. And these factors are actually simple. All right. So support and resistance alone will not give you the massive results you want. TGS has given you a lot of massive results, but if you add another factor, which is support and resistance, you're going to change your game. Now, there are so many other resistance and so many other factors to compare, which we're going to be bringing in little by little over the next 6 months to people in the team. In fact, over the next 2 weeks, we're going to, bring a lot to the table. All right, so that's the first point you need to remember. Now, let me tell you a second very important point you need to note. And that is this. Anytime that support bounces or crosses, most likely there will be a retest. So let me give you an example. Right here, the price came from up. Obviously, there's another line up there. It came from up there, crossed down here. Now, when it crossed down here, once it crosses, there's always a retest. This is never forget this point I'm telling you. Of course, there are times you just fly down, okay? But when price crosses, that means the support and resistance did not hold. It will go down and retest. Okay? Then it will bounce, go. Now look at this again. When it crossed, this did not retest immediately. But you see, it's held. There was a little hesitation here, right here. And it went up. So in other words, it actually retested. If you consider support and resistance as a zone, you will see that this one retested. Okay? So when it breaks through, there's always a strong chance. I don't know if you can see this clearly, but I'm just going to try and increase it. So you can see this went up and it's practically retested. Okay? So when price breaks a support or resistance line, there will be a retest. Please take note of this. Watch the replay. Take note of that point. Very critical. And then see the bounce continued, bounce continued, bounce continued. All right, bounce. Now look at here. It crossed and retested. Yeah. So you always get a chance to see what's about to happen. And by the way, price action is loading. It's one of the key topics we're going to discuss. All right. So you see, it's going to bounce, cross, retest, and retest, and retest. And look at this. I told you it will always go between support and resistance. It retested, and went up here. All right. Then came down here, crossed below. All right. Broke through, crossed back up, retested. All right. And then went back down. If you consider support and resistance as a zone, this would not be a fake out. And I'm going to show you that in a moment. Now it's crossed back down, retested. Okay. And this was a good retest. And then went down here. Crossed down here, bounced back up, came here, crossed down, retested. So if I ask you to predict where market is likely going to go, right now, there are two things you should easily observe. All right. There are two things you should quickly and easily observe. You should observe that price has tested here, it tested here. It tested here, just let me see. Yeah, okay, there was multiple price action here too. All right, so you can take this as a point. All right, in fact, I can take this as a point because you can see several candlesticks touched and touched and touched again several times. So what you have here is there are two discussions here. Where's price going to go? It has touched this resistance. So it's likely going to just go down. Now, if it's going to go down, it means I could just enjoy a very good 2-3% profit if I'm trading futures or Forex or whatever it is. So this trading is going to consider everything, all right? But when it comes to Royal Q, you buy up, except you're trading the futures end where you sell. Now, what if it doesn't go that direction? Yeah, you relax, all right? Remember, let me start going a little deeper here. So let me load one of the tools we use here, price range. So, oh, no, the short position, since we said sell. So if I decide to sell here, and I'm targeting this point, right? Yes, the most closest support or resistance line to the left. Now, where would my stop loss be? My stop loss will be just here, okay? My stop loss will be just here. I know a lot of people love to trade those leverage markets, they go crazy. I know people who take TGS and they go trade for, futures. So you can just right now take your trade and say, this is likely going to go down here, and your risk to reward is 1 to 8, which is massive. All right. But you always want to give enough room. The stop loss should have enough room. All right. You don't want to be too you don't want to squeeze it too tight. You want to give it enough room. So just right here. But what's going to happen? If price breaks up here and retests, you don't want to even start thinking, you have to be like a robot. You don't have to start thinking what wants to happen. Is it going to come down? It's not a matter of prayer. The market will do what it will do, but you need to understand how it moves between support and resistance. So if it breaks up here, just like it broke up here, it will retest and go higher. So you need to be ready that if it breaks up and gives you any sign of retest, then you're going to go higher. But I'd rather put this stop loss here. And the reason is you don't want to be stopped out too early. All right. You can still manually close the trade. All right. And this is a sell trade for those who trade futures. And you can tell yourself, hey, I'm going to get this percentage here. Let's see how it pans out. But remember, you are seeing the market in a direction, but the market can do whatever it wants to do. So you could actually cross back up, but you have to be ready. When it retests, just be ready to jump out. So that's a little bit of the information I wanted to have about support and resistance from the get-go. Now, having said that first part, with two valid points, 1 point, price will always move between support and resistance, bounce in between them. And 2, when support is broken, it retests. When resistance is broken, it retests and then moves in its direction. Right? So this is one of the critical points you need to remember when it comes to trading. Now, I have not added, for those who use, this is an introductory class, so let's just say, for those who use TGS. So you can see that right here was a good chance to get in. You can also see that if you marked out the point correctly from here, when price came down here, you should know that this is a good time to get in, right? Because you know that when price gets to the support, what will it do? It will likely face the next direction. And so if you listen to your, if you just follow that clearly, what could have happened? All right, let's see what could have happened. Long position right here. Remember the support had been tested here before, and you saw it close here again, and If you look to the left, you're going to see some evidence of that too. But let's run through the training. So if you came in here, price has touched the lower Bollinger Band. Where are you going to target? All right, on your left, you need to target this level. I don't like to over target, so just bring this down and just target, because based on the left, this was where price moved around. So this gives me a risk to reward ratio of 1-to-1, which is fine because it's spot trading. All right, but where will my stop loss be? I mean, if you were trading futures, my stop loss would be just below here. Okay, so I would drag this to somewhere here. Remember to always give room for your stop loss. All right, always give room. So this is it, and that's a 1-to-5, for risk to reward ratio 1.5. So that's good enough. All right, and there you go. Price quickly hits that target, and you took 3.5%. Easy, just because you attach TGS. Now, without support and resistance in your trading of the TGS strategy, you would most likely, let me just move this aside. You most likely come in here in the middle, all right? And then take a little bit of waiting for you to come down here. That's why we say tolerate 20% dip tolerance. Be ready for the market to dip up to 20%. That's the reason, because we didn't teach you support and resistance. But if we teach you support and resistance, you come in and tell yourself, hey, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tolerate, let me just see, this is the next level. I'm just going to tolerate 5% drop in price. And you put your money on 1% call drop in 4 margin calls, first buying amount for the 5% of your capital, enter your trade. Yeah, because in spot trading, no stop loss, you're good. And you money in the bank, all right? Let me know if you're following me so far. Just drop a 1 in the chat box if you're following me so far. All right, so I can see one of the coins that was emphasized here. So Acro Cross is not here. So let's see Jasmine. Yeah, let's see Jasmine. I think I'm just gonna switch to Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine USDT. So remember, these rules apply to all markets, everything, irrespective of whatever you're thinking or feeling or imagining. So we're just gonna hide this Bollinger Band again. Just gonna hide this and repeat the same process. Where have you seen price, bounce back off? Here you see there's a lot of bounce back off here. So let's just keep it at that. Then where else? All right, you can see tested here. That's great. Where else did it test? Let's look at it. Where else the price test? Here. So it looks good. Remember, I'll show you how to draw a zone in a moment, but I'm just trying to pass through an average concept. Okay, so let's look to the left. Where was support and resistance to the left here? Because we want to predict the future by looking at what's happening to the left. You can see price tested here. So this was a good point. So we could just put something around here. Okay, now where the price test again? Here. All right, so I'll just multiple tests. So don't just take one candlestick and say, oh, the price crossed here. No. You can see right here, tested once, twice, bounced up. All right. And this bounce off was here, another bounce off was here. All right. So that's why we're drawing this that way. So now let's go to the right. Can you see that the market is fully obeying what you drew on the left? That's how easy it is. And please, you just need to add support and resistance to your, somebody's saying you don't understand which is support and resistance. So remember, I told you that the ball bounces between support and resistance. Now, support can turn to resistance. Okay, thank you very much for that question. Support can turn to resistance. So here's what I mean. So here, price is acting as support. So I'm just going to use this as an example. So right now from here is acting as support. Okay. and it bounced to resistance. So right here, price is acting as resistance. See, just remember that they can change their function depending on how price moves, okay? So if price moves in a certain way, support can become resistance, resistance can become support. Very important. So when it comes down here, it bounced up a little bit, yes, support. But when it broke, this line stopped being support. When it broke down, see, it came here and bounced, it became resistance. So the same line, which was support, right now has become resistance. Do you get it? It was support right here, supporting the price to go up. When it broke, it retested, bouncing, it's now resistance. So remember, I told you this. One of the things you need to remember is price can break any of these support or resistance lines and change its function. And once it breaks, it will retest. And once it retests, it's resistance. Okay, so support can become resistance. The same thing, resistance can become support. So for example, price hit here, went down. If it had hit here, crossed up, all right? If it has crossed up above here and retested and gone up, this resistance would have turned to support. So I hope you get that. All right. So the lines are actually pretty much the same thing. So ultimate, I get you. Just, I don't know if you came in from the beginning, but if you did, just remember the example I gave about the ball. The ball is the price movement, and it bounces between the floor and the basketball player's hands. All right. Now, the same ball, if you fling it, hit it on the floor like a lawn tennis ball or table tennis ball, hit it on the floor, and it goes out of the window. When it goes out of the window, the support is the ground, no more the floor of your house. It goes to the lower floor and the ground, and then it bounces, and gradually narrows down. Okay? So if you understand the concepts shared so far, type 1 in the chat box. If you don't understand the concept shared so far, type 0, because we don't want to go to the next level of things without the vast majority understanding what we are talking about here so far. So you need to add this to the TGS to increase your results. Somebody's typing 2. Okay, I think you're trying to type 1. Okay, so if you don't understand, type 0, then I can ask you, okay, Adiola Shego, please, let me ask you to unmute yourself. I think I can make you a co-host. All right, so please ask me any question, because I need you to grab this. Yeah, unmute yourself, Adiola Shego. I've made you a co-host already.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this support and resistance, I can see you put resistance for up. When it comes down, it means support, right? Hello, sir.
Okay, did you join me from the beginning of this presentation?
Hello?
Yeah, did you join me from the beginning of the presentation?
No, sir. No, sir. I do
Okay,
not understand it. This all support and resistance.
No, but did you join me when I started from the beginning of the presentation? You came in late. You came in late, right? I'm trying to confirm. You came in late.
Hello, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I said you came in a little late,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, no, I came very early.
Okay, so ask me specifically what you don't understand about support and resistance.
You can see support as a support. Maybe you put the support at down, then the resistance for up. So I don't understand what we by support and resistance.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Mr. Shegun.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
know basketball? Which sport do you know? Do you know basketball?
Yes, sir.
When the player wants to bounce the ball, where does the ball hit?
He
The
hit
floor.
ground.
They hit the
He hit
ground.
floor. Yes, sir.
That ground is support.
Okay.
Yeah? That
Yes, sir.
ground is support.
Okay.
Now, when the ball hit the ground, where is the ball going back to? The hand of the
Going
player.
back, the hand of the player, yes, sir.
That hand is now resistance.
Resistance. Okay.
So that ball is price movement. That ball is price movement.
Sir.
But let me ask you a question now. When the ball hits the ground, where is it going back to?
It's going back to the hand. That is up.
When it hits the hand of the footballer, where is it going back to?
It's going back to down again. Ground.
When it hits down, where is it going again to?
It's going back up.
That is what I tell you. Price will bounce many times between ground and the hand of the market. Ground
Yes.
is support. Hand
Yes.
of the market, the player, is the resistance. But
Yes.
let me give you another example. Let's say that person leaves his house. Maybe he's on the first floor. He now goes to the ground floor with the same ball. Has the support gone lower?
No, sir.
No, he was on the decking now. He was on the first floor.
Okay, on the first floor.
Then he went through the staircase to the ground floor. Has the level of the support changed?
No, sir.
It has changed now. Before he was on the first floor. It has changed. Before he was on the first floor. Now he's on the ground floor. No, be so?
Yes, sir.
So the ground now is still ground though, but the ground has changed level.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. I understand.
So that is how that's so price they move for market. Price they move for market from hand of one person, which is the resistance, to ground, which is support. That's so price they move. Do you understand support and resistance now? Do you understand that part of support and resistance?
Yes, I understand it now. I understand it now.
So when you see all this line now, this one now ground. This one now hand of the player. The ball hits ground, it go hand of the player. The player push and down, it go down. Then the ball don't come up for ground floor. You don't come up for floor. You don't go ground floor. You don't not ground floor. You can't come up. Do you understand? So price.
I understand.
Exactly. And I thank you very much. This is the beauty of a paid program. So I know you paid, so you have to ask questions to get the value of your money.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm going to show how to draw these lines where I get it to. So on TradingView on the left side, if you're using your laptop, I can also show from the phone in a bit. But on these horizontal lines, when you come here, right here, you see trend line. Yes, so this first line here. So on the left side, you see a couple of things. The first one is just this. If I want to turn to have arrow hand here, I can click on that. If I want an eraser, I can do that. Then the second item here is trend line. So many things, but I just went to the horizontal line. Yeah. So when I clicked on horizontal line, I can just click here. Once you click anywhere to appear. All right. And you can change the color. I can change the color of this one to red. Let's change to red. In case you want to, separate the levels and how they appear. You can delete it by selecting it. And once you click on it, just delete. All right. All right. So somebody said he's still explaining. Yes, I'm still explaining support and resistance. We're just in the preamble of, we're not even deep into support and resistance yet, but the first two concepts I need you to understand clearly, and I'll repeat it. Price will bounce between the hand of the footballer and the ground. When he hits the ground, where's he going to? Very likely hand of the footballer. Unless the footballer hits himself and and the ball, he misses the ball, hitting his hand. All right. So please, I know most of us are newbies, but I need us to understand this thing because this is the thing that will take you to the next level with TGS. All right. This knowledge will take you to the next level with TGS. All right. So that is the first point. Price will bounce in between. Then when price breaks, when price breaks, it will always likely retest. Okay, it will always likely retest. So look at this example. At this point, it's resistance. Okay, and at this point, it's also resistance. So I want us to understand. Let me just type it here. This is resistance. So price broke through it. Look at here. Price broke through it. When price cross am, what did price do? He come back on retest am. When he retest am, some people they make the mistake. They go talk say, it's coming down now. It's coming down. For where? It's not coming down. No. Let me expand this so you can see it very, very well. I need you to understand this thing. See the way it broke through it. It broke through it with one strong candle. One strong candle. It did not break through it small, small, small. It did not break through it like this. If it broke through it like this, I'll say this price action not too sharp. But it broke through it with one strong candle. So another point you need to remember, when support or resistance line is broken through with one strong candle, that's a very strong cut. Oh, by the way, let me say here, let me say this. Nothing is 100%. Nothing I say is going to happen 100% of the time in the market, okay? Nothing I tell you will happen 100% of the time in the market. But that's why we say combining different factors will help you to know what wants to happen. So if you are trading, price cut like this, it go up, it can't come down. Maybe you are not saying, okay, maybe it wants to come down. You want to sell. What did we say? It's bounce and retest. You see, it's going up. So this resistance, this line that was resistance, here now, it don't turn to waiting. It don't turn to support. The same line, oh. The same line can turn from resistance to support. So when we say support and resistance, these are actually just zones. And I'm going to show you how to draw a zone, but I don't want to go into drawing of zone without you understanding the main concept. Please, very, very important. All right? And I'm repeating it again and again. Price will always bounce between support and resistance. And if it breaks a resistance or support, it will retest before continuing in that direction, in the same direction. All right? So there's also a support and resistance line here. You can see this retest, but I don't want to take too much time drawing so much lines. And you can see it retested once, retested twice, fire. Okay? So if I turn on my Bollinger Band here, it has retested. It did not touch the bottom, which is the middle line. Okay, let me add KDJ now. Let me add KDJ because I know we know KDJ very, very well. Let me add KDJ. It bounced here. The moment it is bouncing, so let me use a horizontal line now. So I'm going to use a vertical line rather, right here. So look at this. It bounced here. At this point, I'm expecting market to go up because this resistance line has been crossed, tested, now up within now. It did not touch the lower band, but you see, automatically, I can see that it has retested, we are going up. Trading is easy once you get a few principles. Then the next thing is KDJ now crossed. So KDJ crossed here. Let me go forward small. KDJ crossed here now. And if you know how we do this thing, we say go to the 1 minute chart and be collecting 1%, 1%, 1%. But even if you don't have that time, and let's say you just want to just take a trade and let me go pick on the long position tool. So I click it here. If you are trading futures, where do you want to put your stop loss? You want to put your stop loss just below that resistance line. But give it room, oh. No go put it like this. Markets can just push you out. You don't want to be pushed out. Give it room. Give it enough room. You know, there's something they say in trading. They say the candles tell the story, but the wicks do the damage. Those wicks can just go kick you out of the market and go where it's going to. So always give your trades enough room for stop loss. Okay. In fact, I can even put it somewhere here. I don't even give a damn. Yeah. Okay. So now, where are you going to put this trade? You might want to look to the left. Is there any place to the left that price has touched before? So I'm switching, I'm just operating my screen. I can see, okay, this was one level here. So me, I will just take to this level. See, I'll just stop here. This one is 3%. I'll just take it like that. It's fine. But if I look to the left, okay, it still went high. I can decide to say, okay, let me see what can happen. And I will just take it to the next high, which is it's up to here. I will just drag my trade a little up here. Always look to the left to set your profits, okay? And then I'll leave it like that. Very good risk to reward. Look at it. Amazing risk to reward. 1 to 2.3. Powerful. And it delivered. Okay? So this is how support and resistance can help you. Are we on the same page? Let me repeat that. And if you don't understand the concepts I've shared so far, type 0 in the chat box, because we're going to start moving faster, because we have to finish the support and resistance today. The future trainings are going to be for those who paid, but I want everybody here to understand the basics of support and resistance. Okay? But there's a point I want to mention here. Okay? What makes support and resistance to happen? What makes support and resistance to happen? It is supply and demand. You know, sometimes you see people say supply zone, demand zone, supply zone, demand zone. Let me explain what that means to you. Okay? So let's just say it this way. Somebody wants to buy $100 million worth of, $100 million worth of BTC or whatever currency it is. He will wait for it to come. He will come here, buy $10 million. Because they will always buy in chunks. When he buys the $10 million, the force, so this is the demand zone. This is where he wants to buy here. So this is demand, all right? So demand supplies, you know, demand is the support, kind of. So he will buy here, the price will go up because he bought $10 million, so to push price up. A lot of people will see, this thing is going up, they'll jump into it to make it go up a little bit. That man wants to buy $100 million. So he's just waiting. He has bought $10 million. He's waiting for the price to come down small. So when it comes down here again, you will just buy on that $10 million. It will push it up again. And people will jump in. And people will now, people will be exiting. People will be selling because they know it's a resistance point. The man is waiting. He has bought $20 million. He has $80 million. Now he's watching for it to come down. He can buy here, but he observes that there's a strong, there's a strong move here. He just waits. Then he comes down here, he buys. When he buys here, that's $30 million. It goes up again. It comes down. He buys $10 million again. It goes up. Other people push it up a little bit. He waits. It comes down. So supply and demand, that is what's controlling the markets. People are buying and people are exiting their trades. Okay? People are selling. So supply and demand is what is creating this support and resistance. And people are using the historical support and resistance to time when they buy into this. So remember, support is the demand zone, buyers are in the market. Okay? So that's why it's not wise to just sell when price comes to support. If you sell when price comes to support, you're actually just kind of going against what's about to happen. So when you're in support, what happens most of the time is buyers are coming in, all right? And most of the time, that's what will happen. Then in resistance, so even if you come after this training, you don't want to understand anything else I say, you just come and say, anytime price comes to support, you look for Bollinger Band, you enter. You will make a lot of money. You would have improved your TGS trading capabilities. TGS is just the beginning, all right? And the training we are doing, this paid training that we've started with module 1, is to make you trade without indicators. But we're just bringing Bollinger Band and KDJ because a lot of people here use that. Somebody said, yeah. Somebody said remove the indicators so that we use only candles. Yes, I will remove them. But the point is, this training is for beginners, okay? And the beginners use the top gainer strategy, which uses Bollinger Band and KDJ. So if you look at this meeting room, we have a lot of people who didn't pay for the training, so they are here. That's why I brought it in to relate, to connect it to their, understanding and improve their performance. So we are not going to use these indicators at all right? These indicators are for people using the TGS and who want to. Somebody now said that buyers can also dump some when price goes high for the price of, yeah, exactly. So remember, at resistance, people are actually exiting their trades. So those buyers that bought here, some of them who bought actually just want to buy and take profits. They're not buying for long haul. So they can actually exit. Remember, for you to exit, you have to sell. All right? You have to sell that asset and switch to USDT. All right. In fact, some people just say, this market has gone against me, and they exit also. Yeah, so you're absolutely correct. Now, I want to give you a very important concept because of what I said earlier. Now, if somebody wants to buy $100 million and he has bought 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, 20 here, then 20 here, then 20 here, what do you think is likely to happen? It's likely that he's not going to buy again. So at the next support level, price will break the support. So I need us to remember this. If a resistance level has been tested several times, there exists a high chance of breakout. Some people tell you that the more it tests it, the stronger it becomes. Yes, it means that it's a strong level. It actually is a strong level to reckon with. That level doesn't mean it's going to be always support. It can turn to resistance. But it means, oh, this thing has been tested 1, 2, 3, 4. That means the buyer that has been buying has finished buying. Just know that you can. So please remember, if a resistance level has been tested several times, or a support level has been tested several times, there is a high chance of a breakout. Okay? More tests does not mean that it's not going to break out. All right? Okay? Somebody saying, so what if while waiting for an uptrend movement and the price action goes against our support and resistance, what should we do? Yeah, relax. We're still going to come to that. Exiting trades, okay? We're going to talk about that, especially in the next session. I will start with that in the next session because those trading with the TGS, they don't exit trades. Do you understand me? So I'll show you the strategy of exiting at the next meeting. Okay? So now let's talk more about breakout. Okay, so remember, you want 1 or 2 strong candles, all right, breaking out, not some short candles. When one strong candle breaks out, it's a great sign. And once there's a breakout, support changes to resistance and is retested. Resistance changes to support and is retested. So please just remember those things, because as we over the next 2 weeks, 6 months, we're going to be using this as the foundation. So we need to rewatch this video, take notes, get your book, and document this very, very well, because it's going to change the way you see the market. So when it comes to the break, a couple of things. Check for multiple tests. Okay, that means that we tested once, tested twice. Yeah, breakout will be coming. Then at the same time, just locate the support and resistance level, right? Because it has been tested multiple times. Then look at the momentum of the candle breaking through. I want to just tell you something else that let me take away this Bollinger Band thing that doesn't distract people and the KDJ. I just put it to there's the line chart. If you go to TradingView, we all know, we have past videos that show you the line chart. So if you various candlestick formations, you have the line. All right. You can add it to your favorites by clicking start. So the line chart can show you easily where support and resistance is. Yeah. So if you're trying to draw support and resistance and you're confused, just use the line chart. Automatically, I can see here, if I come here, I click on the horizontal line, I can decide to put a line here. Okay, I change this sense color. Huh? Okay, no problem, I can leave it that way. I can look for the next place. Where is the next level? Let's go up here. I can say, okay, so this is our old, a very old and simple way of just drawing support and resistance. You know, you can drag it around, super easy. Okay. Just wanted to mention that tip, but that is not the efficient way of drawing support and resistance. All right. Support and resistance lines are zones, and I'm about to enter the zone. So far, so good. Everybody has understood what I said. We spent an hour, but I want to talk about zone. Then we'll take a 5-minute break. I want to talk about the zones. Then we take a 5-minute break and continue. And if we're strong enough for us to continue straight up, yeah, I'm also game. All right. So I'm going to clear this. I'm going to remove all drawings, and I'm going to go back to my candlestick chart. Love my candlestick charts. Okay, by the way, we'll still talk about a lot about candlesticks ahead in the future. All right. So I want to tell you how to draw a zone. Okay. And this is about one of the very important parts of this training. So please stop everything you're doing. Don't distract yourself and pay attention. Support and resistance is a zone. And when you're capturing the zone, you want to capture all the wicks around that zone. I repeat, you want to capture all the wicks around that zone. Because those wicks are the price action elements that tell you this is the test. It is tested. It is tested. Those wicks are what is testing those levels. Now, the wicks, they test those levels. Wait, make us the talk say that place now support, that place now resistance. So you go capture the wicks. And I don't want to make this look too complicated. Permit me when I speak in English. I hope it doesn't confuse anyone. I know people are from different countries here. So when we want to draw support and resistance, you have to capture all the wicks. So I'm going to just, remember, if you do this line chart here, you can see here, 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 all right? Close zones, all right? But let's go back to the candlestick. I'm going to just try and expand this a lot so that you can see it clearly. You see those wicks? That is what you need to capture. So look at this week. So you need to ask yourself, price moved up here suddenly. What was the last thing that happened before price started moving up? The last drop was this bearish week. I mean, this bearish candle with this, So you can start from there. Okay. You can even capture some of the early body of these candles, because it is the price that captures the zone. Then look at here. You can see the wick here is also in the zone. And you can see all these wicks here. So let us draw it now. When I want to draw a zone, sometimes, you can use any tool, but sometimes I use this rectangle here. Okay. You can just, when you start identifying support and resistance, you need to draw the zone. But when you have mastered the art of seeing the zone, you don't have to draw the zone. So I'm starting from this. In fact, I'll capture some of the candlestick. You see, I'm taking it from that early bearish candle wick down to the bottom of this wick. And I'm going to the right. Now you see, I've also captured some of this wick. In fact, I can drag this up in a moment, but let's just go to the right. Yeah, I'm capturing all this. All this is the support zone. All right, it's a support zone. So it's important for you, once you get this picture clear, you'll be able to clearly see the retests, and you avoid a lot of fake outs. I know it's getting a little complicated now, right? Yeah, don't worry. It's fine. So we don't want it to be too big either. So, I mean, I could decide to draw this up and capture this week properly, but hey, there's no good or bad way. So you can see price bounced off this zone. It's always a zone. So even when in future trainings, I draw it as a line, I need to understand that it's a zone. Please don't forget that. The fact that one candle breaks it doesn't mean that it has broken support and resistance. No, the price action is still within the zone. Okay, this is one concept I want us to get. I mean, I know you paid for this training, so I want you to get this piece of information. What is weeks? Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. I'm going to emphasize weeks in the coming book. Let me show you a week now. All right, thank you very much for that question. So you see this candlestick? You see this thing under? After the main body, this thing that came down here like this. This long, sharp thing will be like needle. That's the wick. So you have a wick at the bottom, and you also have some of it at the top, okay? So these things can be at the bottom or the top, and we're going to talk about these candles much later, okay? So when I say wicks, so let me take this let me drag this by the side a little bit. So you see this candle? The first thing will happen here in a bearish candle. You see the wick for here, this sharp line under. Do you see it ultimate? Let me make ultimate co-host so that you can get a picture. All right. Where's ultimate? Ultimate, you paid for this training, so please don't let me rest until you understand everything. Though, of course, a lot of things can be taken as coaching so that we can move on. So ultimate, yeah, you see it, right? Ultimate, you see the wicks? This first candle, the red one. Ultimate, I'm trying to make sure you understand it. So that is a wick. This too is a wick. This too is a wick. So when you're drawing your support and resistance zone, just remember it's not a line, it's a zone. And you start from the wick before price direction changed. Capture it and capture all the wicks that are next to it and drag it down. And along the way, you capture any wick in between. So this is a zone. Ultimately, I hope you understood that. But don't worry, we're going to have a coaching session tomorrow, and I can go deeper into that. All right. We're going to have coaching session tomorrow for members who paid the $75 for this training. All right. I hope you are all getting value. So you see, price did not break here. But if we drew a line, if you use a line chart, all right, and you take a line and put here, and you put a line here, when it's you could easily just say, oh, price has broken, so if price comes down to here, you say it has broken. It has not broken. So you don't take the wrong judgments and experience some kind of fake out. Okay, so that's why you always need to, and I'm not saying that every time you're drawing support and resistance in future, you're going to draw it as a zone. No, but gradually as you are operating this market, you need to begin to see the zone, even if you don't draw it like this. When you see the line, just know that all the wicks in between are part of the price movement. Okay, so all those wicks are part of the price action. Okay, so it's important. Follow the wicks and ensure all wicks are in the zone. All right, so I could actually drag this up a little bit if I wish. The same thing with resistance. So let's go look for a good resistance example. Let's go look for a good resistance example. So I don't want to go too backward. Here I can see a test. Here I can see a test, and it's tested here. All right. So what was the last thing that happened right here? Market was bullish before it said dipping. It was bullish here before it said dipping. So I'm just going to come here, pick on this. By the way, everybody will do an assignment during the coaching session. You're going to draw this. We're going to draw these zones for me. All right. So I know you get it right. So look at it. I'm going to even go to add here because I want to get this wicks here. All right. Then I'm going to add it to the left. See, I've captured all the wicks. even any candles in between. That is the level. And if I drag this to the back, you see I've captured this week here. I can drag it backward even more. You can see it's bounced off this. And I'm hammering on this because I need you to know that it's not a line. And let's just drag it back a little bit more. You can see it's proving to be tested and trusted level, all right? Where price broke, retested, broke, retested, crossed over, retested, came down, went through, went up, retested, went up, came down, bounced, came down, crossed with a strong handle, retested, came down. So this is one of those zigzag moments in the market. Then market was just doing zigzag here, but see here, bounced up and then took off. All right. All right, we're going to talk about how to handle this kind of session, this kind of environments. This is like a ranging market, and we're going to tell you how to, draw additional support and resistance levels, because it's telling you that there's more support and resistance levels above and below that you need to draw to give you a good picture of what is happening. Okay. Of course, we have major and minor support and resistance zones. So the higher the reactions on a zone, the higher the reaction on a zone, that's price entering, touching, reversing, the more powerful that zone is. All right. And the higher the repeat, okay, on both sides. So that testing and retesting, the more times it happens, the stronger the support and resistance. And when there's a strong move in between, yeah, that's a major line. A minor line has maybe few tests, few touches, low level of respect and smaller fluctuations. All right. So that is a very important point so far. Do we want to take a 5-minute break before we continue? Do you want to take a 5-minute break before we continue? What do you think? Some people say yes, some people say no. All right. So let's just take a 5-minute break. This is 8:44. We'll come back by 8. Oh, a lot of people are saying no. Okay. Some people are saying yes. So I have different people with different learning capabilities. All right. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. This is 8:44. So we're going to be back here by 5 is 8:59, 8:49, right? So 8:49. When we come back, we're going to now go deeper and then summarize everything that we can plan for the coaching session. So have you gotten a lot of value so far? Have you gotten a lot of value so far? If you got a lot of value, type V in the chat box. Type V in the chat box. Type V in the chat box. If you got a lot of value. All right. This is why we're doing this. Awesome community. V, great, V, great. Now, whatever value you've gotten, just expect to, let's summarize that so we can see more action in the market. Thank you very much. So it's 8:45. Come back by 10 minutes to 9, 8:50. 5 minutes time, please. Thank you very much.